Yeah, no, I was just saying, for those of us who believe in um, a higher source, a higher creator, a higher light, a higher energy, whatever you want to call it, the universe, undoubtedly, undoubtedly there is something higher than us all, right?
Mm,
And ultimately, if we can live our lives based on this notion that there is something higher than us, looking over us, and we also believe as people of faith, or those who have faith, that in our scriptures it says, I created you in order to get to know each other, right?
mm,
I purposely created you in different tribes so that you could get to know each other,
mm.
right?
So
Yet, so that for me is quite powerful, I think.
yeah. So you believe like in well, I guess let me ask you this: you're religious then in that sense of like believing in God, or
Yeah, absolutely. I have no doubt at all that there is a higher creator, that there is a God.
mm, mm,
Um, and I think I've been very fortunate to have been given that perspective whilst I was growing up, through my parents. And we were very lucky, me and my two younger brothers, in the sense that when we were growing up, our mother realized at a very early time that the cultural aspect of our faith was actually quite detrimental to our understanding of what faith was and what faith
mm.
is. And I remember when we were young, my dear mother, she made this decision of moving us away from uh, our close relatives because it was just causing a lot of anxiety, a lot of confusion, a lot of kind of in-house battles, and
Why
faith
was
was.
that?
I mean, I don't know about
If you
your
don't mind.
experience. Yeah, of course. I mean, I don't know about your experience in in your upbringing, but
Mm,
in our culture, in our Asian culture, so basically my background, we're Asian, Indian Pakistani background. My
mm,
mother's from Tanzania, but originally her roots were from India, and our faith, Islam, in that part of the world has a very unusual, I'd say, method of teaching faith and what Islam is, and it becomes very cultural and very diluted,
mm.
and it takes away the essence of what faith actually is, which is ultimately love, for one another. It's integrity, it's good character, it's being kind to the person next to you. And it's not so
Yeah,
much about focus on outer rituals, it's about understanding why you are doing the things that you're doing. Don't just do them for the sake of doing them, because if you do that, then
right.
you have no impact on your inner soul. So my mum purposely took us away from that environment, and we started moving to different parts of the UK.
Oh,
And I was talking to my brothers about this a few weeks ago because they came up to Liverpool to see me, and we had this chat about our upbringing. And we said we're so fortunate to have that perspective on faith that we can take it outside of culture.
mm-hmm.
Um, and that has really allowed us, and it's allowed me certainly, to embrace difference, embrace
Yeah.
different people, coming back to what you were saying. And my mum, I think very intentionally, exposed us to people of different backgrounds, different faiths from a very young age. And I think that's had a huge impact on us today.
Well, it should
So
help
yeah,
you. It should help you at least like understand the different perspective of different people, right? And I think it's a great thing what she did because by doing that, a lot of the times, I'm not a very. I was raised not Catholic. I was raised a Christian until a
right.
certain age, but when I was 8, we came to the United States, and the church that we went to all the years that I was younger, up until that age, we didn't go to anymore. So the whole religion thing started to kind of fade off a little bit. Just life situations, you come to a new place, you're getting to know new people and all that stuff. So things started to change. But I was brought up as a Christian, and then I started to see things differently. Eventually, Catholicism started to just make more sense to me. But then even Catholicism started to be something that I started to let go of.
Mm,
But I think that when you get so sucked into one religion or one thing, and that's what a lot of religions I feel like they do, they trap you rather than making you feel free, right? Because they trap you into, this is all that you have to believe, this is all that's
Yeah,
out there, and this is what everybody has to believe, and anybody that doesn't believe this is wrong. Well, how do we know if that's wrong? I understand what we feel and everything and church and all that,
yeah,
right? I don't go to
mm,
church. I'm going to be straight up like, I don't do that anymore. But I do see the benefit of it, you know. But I feel like a lot of them, they do just try to trap you, and I like what your mom's approach was in, opening you to the world, to showing you that there's different views out there, they for different ways of looking at life. It creates less chaos. You already come out understanding that people are not always going to think the way you think.
yeah. I'm so happy you touched on that, the aspect of being a closed faith, a closed religion, and that's exactly what it becomes when you get absorbed into that cultural aspect
Yeah,
of religion. Because as you said, it's our way or the highway kind of thing.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
we're right, you're wrong, um, and it's extremely damaging. It's that's not what faith is.
Mm,
You know,
yeah,
high teachings are everything but that.
right.
It doesn't matter who you are, what your faith is, even if you believe in God or not. Like, who the hell are we to judge someone else on what they believe or don't believe? Right? Ultimately, we're human beings, and
Right.
on the very surface of meaning that's the baseline. You're a human being, and as a human being, regardless of whether you have a faith or not, everyone deserves the same amount of respect, understanding, care, and love. And then whether
Right.
you go on to align yourself to a faith or not, that's an individual choice. You
Right.
can't judge someone based on their faith.
Yeah.
Um, but you have your religion, I have my religion. That guy has his, she has hers. This guy doesn't have a religion. Who cares, man?
Yeah, I
Everyone's on their
think,
own journey.
yeah, exactly. We're on our own journey, and I think we can use these different, because religions have been things that have been brought up for, so many centuries, and so it's definitely like a very just something, there's some form of history in religion, and I think that we can use religion to learn about ourselves and all that stuff, but not to keep us trapped in it. And I was talking to a friend of mine about this situation, because he was getting into some religion stuff to question certain things, right? But then he started to see certain things, like he was talking to me about them, and I was starting to see how, like, they start to give you this information, like, to trap you, or to, you know just not let you always look at the outside perspective. And so I was telling him, look, you can use this stuff to learn. You can see what people are doing, understand others. You can use it for all that stuff. And religions go, even like churches, I've seen people go into churches with a drug addiction, alcohol, and they come out, like, I've seen this, whether it's been in close friends that I've seen, or um, just because I've been in church as well. I've seen that happen. But I think that it's like, sometimes I think that maybe religion was started with a good intention, and because of so many centuries, it started to get, like you said, diluted. The whole essence of it is kind of gone, and the essence of it might have been just the spirituality of it, the feeling, the deep connection that you get within yourself in those moments where you're paying so close attention to whether you did something that you didn't feel good about, whether you like, there's questions that you could definitely ask yourself in a church environment that help yourself, right? And so I've seen that. I think churches do an amazing thing, but it's like you say, I think the core of it, or the religions, right, should be the getting people to finding themselves, learning about themselves, and learning about others with an open mind.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And you said that so beautifully. I think it's yeah, man, it's an individual journey. It's down to us as individuals, how we treat other people. And that's what we're accountable for at the end of the day. Um, how do we treat ourselves? We try our best to look after ourselves, look after our bodies, and did we pay attention and give love and care to the other person, whether that be your husband, your wife, your boyfriend, girlfriend, your brother, sister,
Right.
mother, father, grandparents, neighbors, friends.
Yeah.
That's all we can do, man. We can always just the best we can do is try to do our utmost, and we're going to fail along the way, right?
Yeah.